Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 1914, cyclically rotating a grid. This is a medium problem and next I will show you what I think is a reasonably intuitive solution. We are given a grid composed of several layers. So let's say that we are given this. We will say that this is layer number 0, then we have layer number 1, and so on. In this case, we only have 2 layers. We need to return the matrix after applying k cyclic rotations to the left. So let's say that k is equal to 1. We need to apply 1 rotation to the left in each layer. So let's take this. If we rotate this to the left, well, here you can see the final result. Next, we have this scenario, okay? And we have to do the same with the inner layer. In this case, we start with 1, 2, and then we have 1, 2 in this position, 1 step to the left. If k is equal to 2, we do 2 rotations and so on. So the description is quite simple. We have to rotate each layer in the matrix k steps to the left. The main question is, how can we do this? Maybe you are thinking about building a matrix of the same size and rotating each layer one by one. So we start from layer number 0. Let's say that k is equal to 1. We need to rotate this layer 1 step to the left. So if here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, after the rotation, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5, 6, 7, and so on. And this is fine technically. For example, first we had 1 at this position and now it's here. So you could do the math to go from this position to the final position given k steps, but as you may guess, this might become quite complex. So what we can do instead is store the values of the current layer in an array. So for layer number 0 we get something like this. And now we can rotate this array k steps to the left. Let's say that k is 1, so we end up with this scenario. Now we start from 2 and the last value is 1. And now we can go through the exact same positions in the current layer to store the final results. So we go through these numbers one by one and we iterate this layer in the same order. So we start with 2, we put the 2 here, then we have 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and so on. For example, let's say that k is equal to 2. We need to do 2 rotations. So after 1 rotation we get this, and after 2 rotations we get this. And now we can do the same. We go through the same positions to store the final results. We start with 3, then we have 4, then 5, then 6, and so on. Now what happens if k is something larger than the amount of elements in the current layer? Let's say that this is equal to 20. Now we are rotating this layer 16 times, so we end up in the exact same scenario, plus 4 times. So for example, number 1 ends up here. Then here we have 2, this is 3, this is 4, and so on. And this is very inefficient, so we should remove these 16 rotations and use only 4 rotations. That's how we end up with this scenario efficiently. Now the question is, how can we remove these 16 rotations? Well, we can take k, in this case 20, modulo the amount of items in the current layer. Here we have 16 items. The result is 4, and that's how we get this 4. So now we rotate this 4 steps to the left and we get this. So we go layer by layer. First we store all the values in an array, then we rotate the array k steps to the left, and then we go through the same positions in the current layer to store the final results. Then we repeat the same process with every other layer, and that's it. That's how we get the final matrix which we have to return. Time complexity for this approach is big O of n times m. Why? Well, because we are going through all the cells in the matrix, and space complexity is big O of m plus m. We are reusing the grid that we are given, but we are using an array for every layer, and the maximum size of this array is given by roughly n times 2 plus m times 2. This is the scenario for the first layer, and I say roughly because we don't want to repeat corners. So we can say that this is overall big O of n plus m space complexity. Now with this in mind, let's see how to code this up. First, we can say that n and m are equal to the length of grid and the length of grid at row 0. And now we can go through every layer in range. And how many layers do we have? Remember the drawing. Well, we have the minimum between the number of rows divided by 2 and the number of columns divided by 2. For every layer, we need an array. We will call these items. This is empty initially. Now we can say for J in range, we go from the current layer to m, meaning the number of columns, minus the current layer, which means that we are going through row number 0 now. Every time items.append grid at layer, this is row, and the column is J. And we can do the same for right, down, and left. So what do we do for right? Well, we say for I in range from layer plus 1, because we don't want to repeat corners, to n minus layer. Every time we say grid I and m minus layer minus 1, this is the column, this is the last column of the current layer, which means that now we are looking at the right, and well, every time we add the corresponding value to the array. Next we have down. In this scenario we can say for J in range, and now we are going in reverse, so we go from m minus layer minus 2 because we don't want to repeat corners, up to, and here we need to take layer minus 1, and we go in steps of minus 1. Every time items.append, and here we take n minus layer minus 1, meaning we are standing at the last row of the current layer, and we take the current column J. Now, what do we do for left? Well, we say for I in range, and we go from n minus layer minus 2, because we don't want to repeat corners, to layer in steps of minus 1. Here we go in reverse. And every time items.append, we take the ith row, and the column is layer, meaning the first column of the current layer. Now, we have the items in the array, and we can say that the new k is equal to k modulo the length of items. This is how we avoid repeated cycles. And now we need to rotate the array, so we say items is equal to, and here we take a subarray, items, we go from new k up to the end of the array, plus items, we go from the start up to new k. Now we need to go through the same positions to store the final results. So we can say that the index in the array is initially 0, and let me copy what we did above, because we are going through the exact same positions. For example, here we say that grid layer J is now equal to items index, and we need to update the index. We need to do the same in every other scenario, so this is equal to items index, and here we do index plus equal 1, here we do the same, this is equal to items at index and index plus equal 1, and down here we say that this is equal to items index and index plus equal 1. Finally, we can go down here and return the final grid. So this is the entire code. Let's submit this and see if it works. As you can see, this works and it's very efficient. This is the first part of the code, and this is the second part. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.